seminar named Material Science in Reaxys. My name is Sergey Varnavsky. I'm a Solution Sales Manager, and my colleague Alexey Moiseev will conduct the webinar. So as I said, during the webinar, in case if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to interrupt Alexey, and we'll answer it. And also, I would appreciate it if by the end of the seminar, you will drop your email and we will send you back this presentation along with some additional materials. So thank you very much. And Alexey, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sergey. Thank you for introduce myself. And let's start our webinar. Today, I will explain Reaxys from point of view of material science, how to use it in material science. I prepared several examples and use cases for material science for you. Hopefully, you already know what is Reaxys and using it. In Egypt, it's available over Egyptian Knowledge Bank, and you can use it over special website, Egyptian Knowledge Bank. And this is the agenda for today. It will be short introduction to Reaxys. Hopefully, you already know this, but if you don't use it, if you don't know, I will tell a couple of words about this. If it will be very helpful if you will tell, are you using it? Are you know what is it in chat or by voice to save the time? Also, I will show you some tools that are useful for material science, like search of reaction and other things. I will also show how to use text search in Reaxys, how to study the properties of substances and material, optimization. I will talking about optimization of properties of substances and material. I will tell a couple of words if needed about and other features of Reaxys. Reaxys is a chemical database. It contains information from the articles, from the magazines and journals and books, extracted information related to chemistry, related to and also a lot of information related to material science. It's a lot of information about different substances, chemical reaction, and of course about properties. And for material science, I think very, very interesting, not only to understand how to make synthesis and create some material, but also about properties. What is the heat capacity of the properties? What is the heat conductivity? What is the physical properties and other things? And all this, and Reaxys contain all this information. I will show you a couple of examples about this. Also, and also it has optionally some information about bioactivity, affinity to targets. It more for medicals, but also could be sometimes used for material science, for example, for learning of toxicity of products. Reaxys have a lot of information about properties. If you will enter some material or some substance in database, you will have a lot. You will find in 1 second a lot of properties of material and reactivity of this material, way of synthesis of material, and so on and so on. Also, you will find, for example, a lot of things that could be interesting for you for material science. For example, stability in soil, stability of biodegradation in by photolysis, degradation by photolysis, degradation by hydrolysis. That interesting for stability of products. Some transport information like transport of heat could be also interesting. A lot of things that are useful for you for point of view of material science. It's really focusing on using information but not searching information. You don't need to spent a lot of time to find some materials, to read articles, to read books. You can get every information directly from the database. You can extract it, save to your hard disk, plan your experimental work, compare your experiments with other authors of over the world that publish their information. It's really huge tool with a lot of things that could help you also for material science, and also for example for analytical chemistry to analysis of materials, so on and so on. You can find information, for example, heat capacity, or solubility in different solvents. For example, you can find place in Reaxys draw some formula, or give them or types name of material, and you will find immediately properties. Click on necessary properties, for example, to stability, to solubility, and you will find the solubility in different solvents like water, like methanol, like acetone, in different temperatures. Everything is extracted, numbers are extracted. You don't need to read or the article, everything is extracted, and you can use it directly from the Reaxys. Also, you can find information for if sometimes you need to create some biomedical materials that also connected to material science, and you will find this information about chemical processes, information about material chemistry, nanotechnology, energy, and so on and so on. For beginning, I will show you how to find the substance, find the material in Reaxys. You will find you can just use, for example, quick search to find material, and right here, for example, some types, some words. Like for example, if you're interested in light alloys, just write light alloys in quick search, and you will find a lot of documents about this. Let's do this. We find a lot of documents about light alloys, and also we can just click to view result and analyze all these documents. We can filter by journals, by index terms, by patents. You can find information about you can find articles, books, patents, so on and so on. You can combine it with also with chemical filters like index terms, searching by taxonomy, by Reaxys taxonomy, chemical taxonomy, and work with this. For example, if you're interested for chemical transformations, you can click on chemical transformations here and look for example for kinetics, or for example additionally for kinetics type, reaction, reactivity, other things. Or if you're interested more in physical chemical properties, it's also possible. Just click to another taxonomy branch. For example, if you were interested only in article about mechanical properties, you can, for example, hardness or plastic property or porosity or other things. You can click, for example, to mechanical strengths, limit 2, and will be filtered from 45,000 articles to 4,000 articles. That much more easy to analyze. As you see, much more information about light alloys here. We can in any moment we can analyze what doing different patent offices with this of over the world. For example, what doing with light alloys our colleagues from China. and what information they are existing in Chinese patents about light alloys. For example, we can click to China, switch to Chinese patent offices, limit 2, and we will see the Chinese patents here. What is the main benefit of Reaxys? That we have all the light alloys patents that was published in Chinese. Without we see the abstract claims, we see and front page translated to English. Without Reaxys, you are not able to you don't have access to this information because it was published only in Chinese, and you are not able to read it. You're even not able to find this document because it was published in Chinese. But with Reaxys, you have full text search for example, in Chinese patents, and you can read abstracts, read claim translated to English, and know what are our colleagues from China patents published in their patents, for example. It could be also interesting for you. And also, let's switch from document view to substances view, and to learn more about materials, to learn more about substances. For example, now we have some. For example, we find some material like aluminum here. We have a lot of way of reactions for that participate aluminum. We can click on them. We can a lot of way of preparation of aluminum, how to create it. Let's click to preparation, and we will ways for all the ways of preparation of aluminum that that you can find. Also, and these things also working with other materials, not with only simple materials like aluminum. And also you have here a lot of properties. Let's click to physical properties, for example, and we have here melting points measured by different authors, and everything is extracted. Melting point is extracted, and also but we are extracted this melting point as it is, without changing anything as it was published in the document. But you see that numbers in different articles a little bit different. It means that you can compare all the articles from point of view of citation, because now citation is directly available in Reaxys, and you can choose the document what is better cited to probably they will print more convenient numbers, more correct numbers, and you can trust them. Also, what we have here, for example, boiling points, refractive index, density, and for example, absorption data, absorption of on different in different condition, critical pressures, other things. Also, we have spectral properties here, like infrared spectroscopy, NMR spectroscopy, mass spectroscopy, UV spectroscopy of materials that could help you. For example, we can click to infrared spectroscopy. All the data are extracted about this, and you don't need to read it. And sometimes you have supporting information. If we have supporting information, it means that you can click to full text, and you will be redirected to publisher website. And even it was not published in open access, you can if you have here supporting information, it means on the publisher website will be information about infrared spectra in additional information. Let's find where it is. Yes, here supporting information. Let's download supporting information. It takes time, sorry. And you will find the information about Spectre. Sometimes it's really helpful to see on the Spectre, and just take your attention to this. Porting information is always very helpful. Yes, it's here, it's downloaded. We can find here infrared specters that really helpful, could be very helpful, and other information, because authors are very often publishing spectral information in, even the article is not in open access, additional information, supplementary information is available. And also other things are important. We are really extracting a lot to help you to find the information. Do not spend a lot of time for reading, for extracting, to copy, manual copy paste. Also, what we can find about aluminum in other data, we can find how it's used in industry, in laboratories. Very often, as we see, it's used in pharmaceuticals, in decrystallization, in other application, in industrial application or laboratory application, and we have it for a lot of substances. Do you think it's interesting and useful for you? Might to be have some questions. Colleagues, do not hesitate, ask the questions. Okay, I will continue. For example, light allows, we was adding this request to query builder, but what is good, we can edit this, and we can, for example, combine text filters together with chemical filters. If we will go to edit in query builder, we can add here, for example, molecular formula of light alloys that we are interested, and place here, for example, titanium, if we're interested, and filter also for titanium. It also and click to substances, and we can find all the substances that are related to this request. And we, of course, we can click to heat data to understand what is heated, like here elastic polymers and other things. For example, here we can find heat data like crystal phase, electrical data, other data that interesting for material science, so on and so on. Also, what we can do, we can use molecular formula to work with all inorganic material. We can just place, for example, aluminum oxides here, or you can use stars, for example, to search any inorganic material. For example, here, let's, for example, find all inorganic material based on aluminum and oxide. If you and click to substances, it's a lot of substances that you can learn, their properties, and a lot of things. And you learn the preparation ways, learn physical data, spectral data, and other things. if we can also find some combined filters with logic and or with as a logical operator to find more relevant document. If you find too much document in your request, you have possibility to filter more relevant documents. For example, add optical rotatory power, add thermochemical data, for example. For example, we can add to our request based on aluminum oxide some thermochemical data if needed. As a thermochemical data, we can find a lot of fields that could help you. Click to other thermochemical data and enthalpy of crystalline and a lot of things, enthalpy of evaporation that could be also informative for you and filter by this criterion. Or filter, for example, or add additional filter for additional text. We have a lot of logical operator. We can combine them in groups, and you can save this your request for the future if you want to return one day to this search again. Some other requests like for relevant to light alloys, like you can add light alloys based on iron and chromium, and or based on aluminum and titanium, and made a lot of requests based on it. And just try to work with this instrument and find try to find relevant information for you. Which filters we can also have in Reaxys? We have very useful filter here. The name of this filter is use. In Query Builder, in the left side there are in the right side there are a lot of filters. We have so much filters that we have filters for filters here. And for example, we can find filter use. Click on it, and for example here we can find some laboratory or industrial application for materials, and for example can add here ceramic. I recommend always use star, because then we will find more documents, relevant document. Click to ceramic, to click to substances, or click to documents, and we can find a lot of materials that used as a compound in ceramic, and we can learn their properties and work with them. Also, for example, if you are developing some materials, for example, for biosensor, this filter is also could be very useful. Place here biosensors. Like this, and add star to find more document. And let's click again to substances. We could click on document, but I want to click on substances to go to substances database. And here we will find a lot of materials that are relevant to for biosensors and used in the biosensors. For example, polyvinylic alcohol. We can hit on polyvinylic alcohol and find that it's really used for polymer for biofuel cell or biosensor. It's really application for biosensor, and we could find it for other materials, that this polyethylene oxide used for biosensors, and click to the document what As I was telling you, we have a lot of properties that are relevant for material science, like crystal properties, electrical properties, magnetic properties, optical properties, adsorption, and other things. I will show you how to find them. We can filter all materials by their crystal properties. Here in Query Builder, in right side, you can find, for example, filter for crystal properties of substances and material. For example, crystal system. We can click to crystal system and find some materials with cubic crystal system or some other relevant information for crystal system. Also, we can find, for example, electrical properties of substances and find some, optimize the substance and find the substance with the special electrical properties. Electrical data, electrical moment, electrical stability, electrical behavior, for example. Here we can find electron behavior of materials, electron binding, and other things. You can really work with this filter to find the material with the necessary properties. Also with magnetic properties. Magnetic data. Let's click, for example, for find any, and find materials which have any magnetic data, publish it with any magnetic data. Let's click to substances. We have wait some time. Sometimes when we are working with Reaxys, is better to refresh it. Yes, we have substances with these magnetic properties, with some magnetic properties that with published magnetic properties. Sorry, I think my internet connection a little bit slow. Let's do it again. And we will find all the materials which have published magnetic properties. And if we will click to, for example, to magnetic data, you will, for example, magnetic data of pyrographite. We will find all the information what's published about magnetic data of pyrographite. For magnetic structure, diamagnetics, and other information. And if you need more information, of course, you can click to full text to analyze it in the article. Optical power, optical properties, adsorption properties. We also have all this information. With the same way, for example, we can make for adsorption and find information where published some information about adsorption. We can add here, for example, molecular formula, and add here, for example, some inorganic information, and click to substance, and we will find some adsorption properties of lead if we need it. Sorry, it takes some time. Looks at something with my internet connection. Look, it's a little bit slow today. Let's try again. Okay, I will try to show it on slides. It's you can really combine all these filters to find the really material with the combination of properties that interesting for you, that you are finding with some the combinations, absorption at the tropes, crystal phase, and other things. For example, we can use some materials useful for that used as a UV protectors or UV filters. We can try. I will try to show this example to you, for you today. I'm sorry. We have some technical problems. I don't know why, but Reaxys is working a little bit slow today. Absorption. I was showing you absorption.
Yes, colleagues, unfortunately, we lost Alexei, but he will join us in a minute. I'm very sorry for this technical delay, but just wait for 1 minute, please. Thank you.
Okay, colleagues, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well, Alexei. So you
was
may
some
continue
problems with my internet connection. I'm sorry. Now I connected to backup one. Yeah, I will share with you my screen. I already shared it. Okay, let's click again to substances, and we have lead here. We have other substances based on the lead, and here we have information about absorption. It's also extracted from the articles with numbers. You don't need to go to make this copy paste work, and also information about partner, about everything, the absorption of lead, and of course you can export it to your hard drive if needed to Excel file, to PDF file, and working with this offline. Okay, I will continue with other examples. For example, UV filters. It could be good application for material size if you're developing some material with some special UV protector that could be used in industry or in cosmetics, for example. if we need to go to query builder and click to use filter again. Use filter is very popular in Reaxys. Go to use, for example, and please place here UV protectors in the use pattern, and find and also I suggest to add another use filter. Switch to logic OR and add UV filter. It means that in this request will be UV filters and UV protectors, and click to substances. We can find a lot of substances that are UV protectors and UV filters. For example, for these substances, we can learn their properties to understand that it really some of them are really accident and UV filters and UV blocking agents. Learn their properties, and we can add here additional filter, for example, for UV spectra. We have all the specters here in Reaxys, and we can add here UV spectroscopy data. And we can add here, for example, solvent. I think if we imagine, increase our imagination and try to use water, for example, as a solvent. And also we can place here the range of maximal absorption, for example, from 290 to 320. And also we will find all these materials. Yes, we have 38 substances with this heat data. We have the spectroscopy that are used as the UV filters, and use the as UV range exactly that we need. It means that we can work with these materials, we can work with them and do our research. And if we will again click to spectral properties and UV spectroscopy, we very often can find, for example, supporting information. Click on them and find UV specters of them that help us analyze and choose the materials that are really interesting for us. Yes, it's paid. I first time on the website of this publisher, and I don't really know where it is supplementary information. I'm sorry. It could be probably here in information, but it's existing somewhere for sure. And we can find also UV spectra. What we also can do, we can go use filter is very useful, and we can add here some additional, for example, nanotechnology. Nanotechnology, for example. We start and find some materials useful for nanotechnology. Work with them. Or, for example, place here dentistry. If we are developing some materials for dentistry. click to substance, and find materials that useful for dentistry, like silica gel, titanium oxide. For example, we can click to titanium oxide and understand how it's used in dentistry. It's nanoscale filtered for prospective dentistry. For example, or add some filter. Also useful filter is the substance properties and comments. Substance properties and comments. We can add here, for example, extrusion process, if interesting. If we are interested in extrusion process, we can place it here, extrusion, and find some document and some materials that useful for extrusion as a lubricant, as some materials that used for this. Or for example, can add here laser additive, for example. Let's use your imagination how to use these filters to find materials that you need. Laser additive, also we find these materials that very often used as a laser additive. For example, we see acetic acid. Sometimes it's used for it, and we can understand how it's used. Thermal expansion. It's very interesting properties of materials. Thermal expansion we can find here, also in Query Builder. Thermal expansion. Oh, sorry. Thermal expansion. We can place here our criteria, what kind of coefficients we are interested in, what kind of expansion we need, so on and so on. Cubic expansion, linear expansion. We can find all the materials with the linear expansion, for example, if needed. We find all the materials with the linear expansion. This information could be helpful for you, and we can work with them. Also, other transport phenomena like thermal conductivity, that we can use in transport phenomena like thermal conductivity together with molecular formula. We can find some material based on iron with specific thermal conductivity that we need, and so on and so on. Also, Reaxys is very useful for point of view of analysis of material. For example, if we need to find some analytical way for thermal analysis some material, we can go to firstly we need to find this material in our database. I suggest to analyze some very simple material like this one. Find all the information about this, and let's click to documents. Let's find everything in documents database about this material, and in Reaxys 3 we can find way of analytical chemistry, all about analytical methods of this material. Click to physico-chemical analysis methods. Click, for example, very popular material science in thermal analysis. Click to thermal analysis, and then to thermogravity analysis, for example, and find all the document for thermal gravimetry of these materials that we're interested in. Thermogravimetry is very, very popular analytical method in material science. And we can analyze it and work with them. We have about 10 minutes until the end of our webinar. Probably you have some questions. Colleagues, please ask the questions if you have. You can ask it in chat. Please prepare your questions, and I will show you a couple of other examples. We have also very interesting filter, like isolated from natural source, for example. Here we can place, for example, oil and file all the materials that extracted from oil that we can also use for material science. Very, very simple way to find some material if we're going to use oil as a source. A lot of things that useful. If you're planning your experiments, you can also, for every material that you're finding in Reaxys, you can have commercial availability of them. Let's click to commercial availability and find, click to commercial substances. And here you can find supplier information, purity, packages size, price, stock availability, shipment time, shipment country, and other things. It means that very, very fast you can plan your experiment to understand how long time you need to deliver some material, how long time you need to, how much price of this material, what's the packaging, and probably sometimes it's better to make experiment by another way if you need to wait too much time. These things or sometimes probably also help you to plan your experiments. Okay, we have less than 10 minutes until the end of our webinar. Do you have any questions? It's the time for questions. Do not hesitate to ask it, colleagues.
Okay, and in case of no question, please leave your email in the chat room, and yeah, we'll send you this presentation and also some other materials. That's what we really appreciate. So yeah, the answering your questions, yes, certainly we can send the recording, but yeah, we need just your email. That's all. So thank you.
Yes, just we have a recording. We can send it to you, but we really need your email.
Okay, thank you. Also, you can see the email of Alexei. So in case if you have any questions or any inquiries related to Elsevier products, so please don't hesitate to contact him. Yes, and so we are really wish to thank you all for the presentation. And special thanks for Alexei for his dedicatedness, and he's ready to do this webinar. So again, thank you for your participation. We are looking forward to get any feedback from your side, and in case if you have any questions or comments, I wish you to have a wonderful day. Thank you, and yeah, bye-bye.
And also, I want to ask you to tell about Reaxys to your colleagues, if you find it useful. If you think your colleague also could find it useful, please share information about Reaxys with your colleagues. The more you're using it, I think it's help us to develop our develop science in Egypt, and it could help not only to you but also to your colleagues. Thank you very much for participation. Bye bye.